good evening, good night, whatever you call it. Can I have a raise of hands? How many would like to go through the session? Like it's 20 minutes, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's about value. I was generating a LinkedIn poll sometime back, and I said, as we go up the seniority in our organization, what is most important thing to manage? Is it important to manage time, important to manage attention, or important to manage energy? What's your take?
Energy.
Huh? Energy, attention, time. Energy, time, attention, right? Okay, but you know, the reason I told this is not part of the script, the reason is I have to manage all three of them now. I have to manage energy, I have to manage attention, and I have to manage the time, because otherwise you are going to kill me, right? So just to make it stand out, because we are also the last part, this is the only, I think, non-AI, no Gen AI in the whole thing. So it is just operational excellence, okay? Because the theme is also operational excellence. I happen to be a consultant in a company by the name of Kaizan. People know what is Kaizen. Kaizen is continual improvement. Is a Japanese term. By the way, my company name is also Kaizen. It is not a university. It is a Kaizen Institute. It's a company name. It is headquartered in Switzerland, and I am part of the India branch. So like Rudra, I also do consulting. So a lot of things that Rudra was mentioning really, touched a chord with me. So let me share by something I am sure will resonate with you, and I am just giving this one. So end of the day, of course, a little bit on I am going to talk about operational excellence, which are key to strike the right balance between cost and responsiveness. So in my presentation, when I talk about operational excellence, I will keep on changing Kaizen excellence, Kaizen transformation, so they are one and the same. I am just treating them same. So now let's think about operational excellence and some of the things that you can definitely connect with. So for example, one you take a DHL or Blue Dart courier, you will get a SMS, the courier attempted, but the customer not available, right? So that nobody bothered to contact you, but you will get SMS, the customer is not found. So the process is working, but you are not getting value. In the company, lot of times we raise an IT ticket, right? An IT ticket has a SLA that I have to close in 1 day or 1 hour or 24 hours. So the ticket gets closed, but the issue is not closed, right? So that is again, you have a tool, you have a technology, but it is not delivering value. You have also seen, right, when you call a helpline number to block a credit card or do something, you will get a message, all the agents are busy, but you are important to us. That the tool is there, process is there, but the value is not there. And I have a live example, actually I wanted to play that recording, so give a hand mic. Okay, so I actually happen to spend a lot on credit card. So these guys said, sir, you are a gold customer, so I will give a relationship manager to you who will be assigned 24/7. Any question you have, anything you have, they are available. So they have made their process very right. They have put a technology behind it, and that technology, that process is going to value to me. Okay, so let's play how that value looks like. I hope the sound will come out. Okay, so because I had some confusion with my credit card, I am entitled to a relationship manager. I called that bank and I got this message.
Dear customer, your relationship manager is currently busy. We have successfully registered your callback request.
Didn't play, right?
Once you are in, please.
Okay, one second.
Your relationship manager is currently busy. We have successfully registered your callback request. Your dedicated relationship manager will reach out to you during the next business hours.
Okay. So this is the experience, the value I got from the operational excellence process, which is using technology, using all the tools. So look at what the operational excellence was supposed to do and what the value they gave to me. And you have tons and tons of such examples. I am going to talk about these things, why such processes with such good intention actually fails to deliver value, how we can actually re-engineer that process to actually help us achieve that. So let's get into those details. So end of the day, the process do not deliver value because there is a constant tussle between responsiveness of the process, what the process is supposed to give value, and the cost associated with that, and many times we do not like to invest that cost, and that is how the manifestation happens. But there are also good process. I think Imran, Imran, where is Imran? Imran, you go to Dubai, right? You used to, so you have seen the smart gates in Dubai. Okay, so in India, when you do an immigration, okay, and even Dubai, like in Terminal 1, you used to wait up to 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to go through immigration and get the stamp on your passport. Now you get to Dubai, your immigration happens less than 1 minute. You stand there, they scan your eye, iris, and you are there. Okay, so it is not that operational excellence doesn't deliver value like the message I showed. There are examples in which it happens so fast. Digi Yatra, have you used Digi Yatra in Bangalore? Okay, again so fast, right? So these are some good welcome process in which the process is working, there is a technology used in the process and it is delivering the value that is intended, right? So good process also does exist. And also I read a newspaper recently that many airlines like Indigo especially, they say, sir, our airplanes always start on time, land on time, etc. But the value is not like that, right? Value is when I take my luggage and take my taxi and reach home. So that is my value, that is the time. And the welcome notice has come in which they are saying checked in baggage must be delivered within 30 minutes arrival, BCS. Somebody, maybe you have read this news, right? So these are something that is pushing every organization to improve their operational excellence processes to deliver value, right? But then is, as I mentioned, so there is a business goal which is supposed to deliver value, and the business goal is about process and you improve the process and deliver value, but then there is a cost to the process. People either do not invest that cost or they actually do not know that there is a cost involved in fixing a bad process. So how do I improve a process? I will improve a process by taking the process and running it through the PDCA cycle, right? Plan, do, check cycle that. So then I improve the process, then I sustain that improvement. The sustain that improvement happens through standardization, governance, audit. So you sustain the improvement, then you go for next cycle. And we talked in the panel discussion today, many times just because I have a tool, just because I have a SOP, okay, people will believe that my process is working, it doesn't work that way. Okay, so it has to go through some engineering. So let us see what happens. And these are the quick facts. 44% organization use operational excellence. So to deliver customer value, 44% organization uses operational excellence, 20% only get successful, 74% are not successful because they are not getting the ROI, and 53%, which Rudra mentioned, is happening because there is no cultural transformation that has happened. So this is the reality and this is what we need to crack it today. I think once I tell it, you will get this familiar face. So look at the cartoon. One guy is delivering a value, right? He is delivering, putting a cart, and that cart, he is taking a lot of time to pull that cart to the destination, and the guy who is saying that, sir, do it fast, say what help you need? So no, mere paas aadmi nahi hai, I need more resources, I need more machine, I need more automation. He is pulling a broken process. He is pulling a broken process, and the excuse he is giving is, I need more resource. And this is a common example that you will see, that whenever a guy is trying to fix a broken process, the first response is, mere paas aadmi nahi hai, I need resources. But the thing is, he is actually using a square wheel, whereas his colleague is saying that, guys, you just fix the wheel, and they say, no, I am too busy. So what actually it tells is, there is a firefighting going on. This guy is in perpetual state of firefighting, and firefighting, trust me, also is an addiction. Many companies, many professionals, they will actually do the firefighting and then feel proud about it, and it's like an addiction, I am firefighting, I am busy and things like that, and that is how a broken process remains a broken process, and the example I showed in the beginning. These processes get compounded when you have a large stock of inventory, then your, your quality issues, stock outs, skills, absenteeism. So if you are running in a very good state, really you are running with a good government regulation, you have a monopolistic situation, It is called the success trap. That means all these operational excellence inefficiencies will get hidden, and this is also a disaster for the company when they want to improve their processes. So we need a Kaizen transformation, and I said Kaizen transformation and operational excellence transformation treat it the same today. So we need to transform this company from a perpetual state of firefighting, in which, if you can see this cartoon, this board, top management, mid management, supervision, Gemba employees, everybody is just firefighting because they are so used to it. Okay, and very few people are actually doing the innovation and breakthrough. So we need to transform this company from this state to this state when we have a process for innovation, when we have process for driving projects, and we have process for daily Kaizen or daily activities. Because if we do not do that, the process remains broken forever and you will fail to deliver value. You will check all the check boxes. Yes, I have a process, I have a manpower, I have automated call center, I am logging the calls. Customer doesn't get the value, end user doesn't get the value. So how do we take that organization from left side to the right side? So in Kaizen Institute, there is also a change model. How does this change model looks like? It says that in order to transform, you have to transform the strategic process, how the company thinks long term. So you have to think and you have to improve that strategic process, which is Hoshin Kanri and strategic deployment, KPI flow down, etc. Then you have to also re-engineer a value stream Kaizen, which means how the projects are run. You have to actually define that. And more importantly, the culture building part, which Rudra was mentioning, is the daily Kaizen or daily work management. If whatever you do doesn't manifest into a daily Kaizen work, which means you will continue to run with the broken process and you cannot read the fonts, but it actually is a 4th step. That means the team develops an ability to see problem. I always use this example. Look at a fish vendor. He is sitting in the fish shop, he cannot smell the stench of the fish or stench because he is so used to it. So using a Kaizen transformation, we will transform the people to see the problems, because if you cannot see the problem, it is actually a problem. So once the transformation happens, okay, the employees at the shop floor will see the problem, they will solve the problems, they will sustain the improvement and sustain the culture. And to fix a broken process, to make sure process delivers value, we have to work a lot on the daily Kaizen. So what it actually means, when you go to a doctor with a broken arm, the doctor patches it, right? Doctors makes you healthy. When you go to a neurosurgeon, okay, I have a neural problem, the doctor fixes it. Similarly, a process excellence engineer, a lean transformational engineer has to re-engineer the process. You can think it as, you are taking a patient and the patient is an inefficient process. You do all the surgery and engineering and you make it an efficient process, which means you have to work on the manpower, the skill sets, etc. You have to work on the material, input specification and all kind of things, method and measurement, the 4 M's as we all know. They are very easy, simple to fix. What is not simple, what is not intuitive is process is not a set of steps, right? Step 1.1, step 1.2, if the step 1.1 doesn't happen, go to step 1.5. It is not a set of SOPs. The process also needs to develop a management process, and that is where the organization fails. So once you have fixed those 4 M's, you have to also do the process management. This is where the KPI, this is where the daily Kaizen comes. But more importantly, which Rudra mentioned, a lot of things mentioned, is the culture, right? Which means for us to take the patient to deliver a healthy process, you have to also have the right culture. Your operating theater, your hospital environment should be very good. So which means you have to first prepare the soil for your process to become a healthy process, and those soils are nothing but culture. And culture, as we know, is a set of values, principles, behaviors and rituals. Rituals are very important, right? When we start our day, we do rituals, right? And why we do rituals? Some eat green tea, some does yoga meditation, some do relaxation. Rituals are important because they are reinforcing the principles and values that you live by, okay? So we have to create those rituals in the company which will help you sustain the process. So to do those rituals, to make sure the process sustains, we need to have some principles. So Kaizen Institute, and you can look at the Toyota production system and any other good company who have done a lean transformation, they will have some principles, and the principles that Kaizen Institute use is, the first one is the create customer value. Easy to understand. That means everything that you do has to translate into customer value. Automated call that this bank told me is not a customer value, right? They can check the check boxes, yes I have a relationship manager, but that is not customer value. So start with the customer value, let it flow. Any lean process starts with flow. That means like you know, when I go to the airport, usual time is say half an hour, but when the flow is obstructed by the traffic, that is where all the complication comes. So let it flow means remove the muda, waste, remove the muda and muri from the process and let the whole value flow. More importantly, and here I think lot of thinking, lot of mindset has to change, because one has to be Gemba. Gemba is a shop floor, it is Japanese term, it is called shop floor. Gemba is the place where people add value. So the one has to be Gemba oriented, right? If you have to solve a problem, one has to experience the problem, and the guys who are at the shop floor are the best judge of how to experience the problem. We call it, we do not need AC, PC, CC consultant. You know what is AC, PC, CC? Any guess? Okay. So we also have, you know, lot of consultants who charge a lot of money and do AC, PC, CC consultant. That means they will sit in a AC room, okay, they will work on the PC/laptop, and all they do is send a mail with lot of CC. Okay. So if you do that kind of consulting, that kind of thing, things are not going to fly. You have to be at the shop floor, you have to at the war zone to fix it, and that is one of the principle that will help you fix a broken process. Empower people, you know, nothing easy to understand. Empower people means you have to give respect to the people. People should be motivated to change, and then be systematic and transparent means always talk with data. So one has to always live by these principles, which will determine the behavior and which will convert into daily rituals. Then only you are making a soil ready for the Kaizen transformation. Some of the signals, how do you know whether your signals, the soil is ready, people are actually transforming or not? You will see, you will actually have lot of measurements going on. Every shop floor will have lot of KPIs, how they are scoring on safety, things are moving up and down, like there is a target line, they are working on whether things are not met. People meet every morning, and there is also 5S, you know, things are sorted out, everything. So once you see these things happening, as Rudra was mentioning, going up the maturity curve, these are the signals that yes, you know, the surgery that I did on the process is actually working. Like Gita says, right, we do not have control on the results, we have control on the actions. Lean consultant also says same thing in different language. So they say lean and process excellence professionals are not responsible for the results. They are responsible for the process which are responsible for the results. So as a lean and operational excellence consultant who is trying to re-engineer the process, one has to only work on the process and not on the results, right? But then the question is, how do I know whether the process is the best? How do I know you have achieved the process excellence? And there are some way to check that. That means there is no muda and muri. They are Japanese word. Muda means waste, mura means strain, and muri means unbalance. There is no unbalance, no waste in the process. It is always available on demanded. It has zero variability, no surplus shortage, and nowadays it is also sustainable. You can also call cyber security safe, and it is also push based, pull based. That means you are designing a process which is based on pull from the customer, not you are dumping something on the customer. So that is how the perfect process looks like. But then who makes a process? Who actually executes the changes that you actually design as a process expert surgeon who has to re-engineer the process? It is the final people who have to work it, and we know people also unfortunately also fall in a normal distribution. So there are people who are heavy starts, you know, super flyers, very top performers. There are people who are bottom performers, and a majority people are actually average performers. And I cannot run a company by hiring all the good people or hiring all the bad people, because good people will cost you high, bad people will cost you less, but their rework will cost you again high. So we have to live with reality, which means we have to work with the average people. So how an average people will give you excellent results? This is very simple. Once you go through the Kaizen transformation, this is what is going to happen. You will get brilliant results from average people managing brilliant processes. So once you have designed the processes, once you have made sure that value stream, strategic Kaizen, daily Kaizen, culture change has happened, you will get brilliant results from the average people only, because that is also cost effective, right? Because I cannot have all the Sachin Tendulkars in my time. I have to manage my show with average people. So just to sum it up, how do I know that this company or this particular organization or this particular function is actually reacting to the process changes that I have done? So this is a good way to measure that. That means when you are at the basic level, that means nobody, nowhere, no day they are thinking of continuous improvement. They are just status quo. They just love the firefighting. Nobody, nowhere, nobody is thinking about I have to things to improve. But then slowly as the medicine starts working, so you will see somebody is thinking about continuous improvement, somewhere people are thinking, and someday people are thinking, not on everyday basis. That means, the treatment that you are given is actually showing some results. So it is called somebody, somewhere, someday they are thinking about continuous improvement, they are thinking about delivering customer value, and you can know, yes, your things are working, but in a perfect state, and this is the state, this is the value we should live by, is when everybody, everywhere and every day people are thinking about Kaizen, improvement, people are able to see problems, they are able to solve problems, they are able to sustain improvement through standardization, and they are able to sustain the culture. So once this happens, then you can start seeing those multiplier effects. That means, the role modeling happens. One organization say, guys, this is not correct, sir, you are not wearing helmet, sir, you have not acted on CPI. So this multiplier effect will start happening, and that is the true sign of a Kaizen transformation that you will actually execute. To wrap up, so the key takeaways from my presentation today is operational excellence professionals are responsible for re-engineering improving process. So if I am an operational excellence guy who is responsible for delivering value, I take the patient, I take the imperfect process, I do my surgery, I do my medication, I will improve the process. And then the process change improvement needs a process. It is not about SOPs like step 1, step 2, sir, I have sent a call center, I have 2 ladies sitting receiving the call 24/7. Okay, so it is not about just setting the KPIs and setting the SOP. The management approach has to happen. Who is taking care whether the customer is getting value or not? Who is taking care that customer has reacted 5 times and he did not get something? The whole management approach, how many layer of support, what are the skill sets required? We need to also not only develop the process, we also need to develop the process management approach. And the last but not the least, it is a culture change. If the culture change doesn't happen, nothing happens, right? Because for sustaining a culture, culture change is important, and hence culture change is a bedrock for sustainable change for operational excellence. So if you do this, you transform any organization and start thinking in terms of lean and operational excellence. And then the topic that we heard today, this AI, Gen AI, the technology can start this. First we have to design the process, we have to design the culture, then leverage the technology to help me more, right? It's not the other way around. This is my take on operational excellence, and with that I will conclude my presentation and over to dinner.